and sustain it and get good reviews and enthusiastic response, that's difficult. And I was able to do that, still touring the show. Okay?
Hello, Mr. Shatner.
How are you today? What's your name?
My name is Jimmy.
Danny?
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Should be Danny.
Say again?
Would you like to go by Danny? Then I would agree.
You can call me whatever you want, sir. I have a question for you. A couple of years ago, you were in Albuquerque, and you had done a panel like this, and you talked about a book about physics and dancing, and I don't remember the title. I was curious if you did.
What, the physics of dancing? The book was about the physics of dancing. I must tell you, I took a NyQuil last night. And you know, the antihistamine Basil thing, so you all look great. Yeah, the aftermath of a cold. You know, there was a book called The Dancing Wu-Li Masters. That was it.
That was the one.
That's it, The Dancing Wu-Li Masters.
Yes.
What was it about?
I haven't been able to read it.
You should read it. It's a great book. It's a book I have on my phone. I haven't read it a couple of years. But it's The Dancing Wu-Li Masters is how to conduct your life. It's incredible, actually. It's an extraordinary book, and I recommend it too. Right now, on my phone, I'm reading The Genius of Birds. Birds. They're really intelligent. I don't mean intelligent. I mean they can count, some of them. They remember 25,000 things, like where they placed. I mean, birds are incredibly more aware than any of us realize. Some of the most intelligent of birds are of the corvid family, ravens and crows. Incredible. So that's what I'm reading now. That's what I read then. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Good.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Shatner. My question, you've played so many really great iconic roles, and my question to you is, between Denny Crane and T.J. Hooker and Captain Kirk, which of those three was the most enjoyable for you to play, and why? And then which television show, was the most enjoyable to work on, and why?
That's a complicated question. Even remembering the question is
I can repeat it later if you'd like.
good. If I need to, I'll call it. Interesting, we were talking about actors. So there I was, a youngish actor, having just played Alexander the Great and riding bareback horses and building my body up because all I had was a breech clout much of the time. So I had just finished Alexander the Great when I was approached to play Captain Kirk. Well, I'm a young actor, a classical actor. I went into it with the verve of a classical actor. You know, risk is our duty, or whatever it is. Risk. Let me tell you about risk, Captain Kirk. So that's the young actor. Now the same guy, a few years later, is asked to play a cop who doesn't like all the new laws, like slapping somebody to get a confession, and not quite that bad, but old-time, strong-arm, fundamental police work kind of guy in the wrong milieu because the laws are constricting him. He has to read the Miranda rights and all that kind of thing right there. So that conflicted T.J. Hooker. was now part of me as well, because I'm old. I was older. I was thinking about civil rights and all the things that you begin to be aware of as you get older. So that man was different. It was a different man than Captain Kirk playing T.J. Hooker. And then when I was asked to do Denny Crane in Boston Legal, I was much older by that time, and I was very much aware of how senility affects people's brain. You can see it today. I'm coughing for you for one last time. I'm so sorry, folks. So you can see where Denny Crane was quite different. You know, before microphones, this used to be the way we would communicate back there, with a voice in your head and able to enunciate so you could understand each word. I could barely understand what the microphone says. And then they began to wire you up, so now you can talk like this, like you were on television. Well, that's not what you are. You're on stage, trying to reach the people in back. So stage actors, by the way, develop a whole muscle in there where you can reach. So Denny Crane was fearful of his senility. He was no longer at his best. And the more he was no longer at his best, the harder he strived. There was a sense of it was pathetic in a way, but I tried to make him strong and less fearful. But it is a condition that all older people face, that their brain isn't working as well as it did when they were younger. Although that is also not true, in that we've now discovered that the brain does grow as you get older if you exercise it. So when I'm asked why do I make these occasions, it's for me to see you and be with you and hear what you want to say. It's also to make my brain grow strong. Not joking. They're all looking at me. Your brain is growing strong? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been wonderful being with you. I appreciate you being here this morning. Please, I'll sign some autographs and that's it. Thank you so much for being here.